They say you notice the quiet more when it's not supposed to be quiet. My apartment's old radiators usually clank through the night, a dissonant lullaby. But tonight, silence. Just the drip of the kitchen tap, that stubborn leak I'd been ignoring. I almost didn't check the thermostat. Common sense told me the building's boiler had finally given out. But then I smelled it. Burnt sugar and wet earth, a scent that curled into my throat and sat there. Familiar somehow. The hallway floorboards creaked as I walked toward the kitchen, though I'd memorized their silent spots years ago. My reflection in the microwave door looked blurred at the edges, warped. The tap's rhythm had changed, slower, deliberate. A cabinet door hung slightly open above the sink. Inside, the mug's shadows stretched too far across the counter, liquid, black, and jagged. My fingers brushed something cold and fibrous, a clump of feathers, gray, downy, damp. The bathroom door stood ajar now. The crack revealed only pitch, a different quality of dark. The sink's drip stopped altogether, and in that stillness, I heard breathing. Shallow, ragged, not mine. I counted the steps back to my room 12 and locked the door. The hall floor groaned under weight that wasn't there before. Under weight that was 3 nights of twisted dreams where my childhood bedroom's crucifix bled rust down the walls. The silence now vibrated with something older than pipes, heavier than sleep. My hands pressed against the wood, listening. The breathing matched mine, then diverged, a harmony of fear in the thickening dark. The doorknob turned just a fraction, then stilled. My breath hitched. Had I imagined it? The wood against my palm hummed faintly like a struck tuning fork. Something whispered my name. Not aloud, not quite. It skated through the space between my molars, a breath of wintergreen and rot. A shadow pooled at the door's threshold. Not cast, I realized. Existing. Rippling upward like oil in water. Cold bloomed through the keyhole, lapping my fingertips. The hall floor creaked again. Closer. Each step resonated in my molars, a dull ache. My tongue found the scar from where I'd bitten through it during the accident. A rasp. Nails! No! Claws! Grazing the door's other side. The shadow thickened, stretching toward my ankles. Static filled my ears. My reflection in the dresser mirror caught the light, mouth open, eyes swallowed by pupils. Behind me, the ceiling seemed to sag. The doorknob twisted again, forcefully this time. Metal screeched. My heel crushed the forgotten feathers scattered on the rug. The door sighed inward, millimeter by millimeter. I couldn't tell if the laughter came from it or me. The air turned gelid, syrupy, as if the room had been vacuum sealed. My throat clicked dryly. How long had I forgotten to swallow? The shadow coiled around my ankles, a liquid weight. It didn't feel like darkness, more like bees, a hive's worth vibrating beneath the skin. The mirror held my reflection, but wrong. Not a face, an afterimage, smeared. I tried to step back, but the floor gave like wet dough. My hands grazed the walls. They pulsed, warm, veined. Laughter again, shredding the air into confetti. Mine? I pressed a palm to my mouth, felt the vibration, felt the split lip I didn't remember splitting. Copper bloomed, sharp and bright. The hallway beyond the door yawned into focus. The light bulb dangled by a filament, swinging madly, painting strobes of my mother's summer dress disappearing around the corner. A dress she'd burned years ago. The shadow seeped upward. A stain. Screaming would have been a kindness. The ceiling peeled downward, plaster becoming membrane, quivering. Something pressed against it from above. Indentations, fingertips, or roots. Light died. The mirror shattered, or maybe I did. Glass rained upward, downward. Time pooled like mercury in my palms. Footsteps circled closer. A hum, almost a lullaby, beneath the static. Mom? The name tore loose. Breath against my nape spearmint in grave soil, whispering, "You left the door open." Cold seeped into my teeth first, crystalline like chewing winter. The whisper pooled in my ear canal, replicating, "Open, open, open!" Her dress rustled ahead, starch stiff, singed at the hem now, reeking of kerosene. I moved toward it, bones grinding as though my joints were packed with crushed glass. The hallway stretched, contracted. Walls bled wallpaper blossoms I hadn't seen since childhood. My soul stuck to the floorboards, not sap, but something antiseptic. Rubbing alcohol. The scent of her sick room. A thumbprint smudged the air where she'd turned the corner. I touched it. Static pricked my fingertips, followed by the thick, muculent pull of decay. Her! The house sighed. Don't look! Don't look! The ceiling above me split with a wet gasp. Membrane tore. Droplets fell, translucent, wriggling, not liquid. Maggots, or slugs made of ash. They hissed where they landed, burning tiny moonscapes into my shoulders. The hum loudened. Not a lullaby, a psalm, the one they'd sung at her wake, voices combing through the mildew-heavy chapel. Mom! I tried again, but my tongue thickened, turned to felt. Her shadow crisped at the edges, resolving into a silhouette I recognized, the curve of her spine as she bent over my bed, midnight breath sour with sedation. The door at the hall's end swung. White light bled through, silhouetting a figure too tall, its neck fused with the doorframe. It stepped into the glow fluid, boneless, and began folding. Origami collapse of limbs, creased, until it was small enough to fit into my clenched fist. Her voice, from behind my molars, "You let it in. Again!" My palms burned where I'd clutched the thing. Its edges left paper cuts, tiny mouths weeping. The hum swelled into a drone, nesting in my molars. Her shadow rippled under my skin now, weaving through muscle like roots through a wall. The hallway rippled, walls puckering into a throat. Something nudged the back of my tongue, a moth's wing. Then another, dry and membranous, fanning against my soft palate. Her hands bloomed inside my ribcage, blunt nails scraping my lungs, patting my heart like a feral thing to tame. The ceiling peeled back, revealing not rafters but a slick black pupilscape, blinking. The folded thing uncreased in my gut. Needle limbs unfolded, knitting through capillaries. A laugh bubbled up, hers and mine and neither. My fingers spasmed, bones hollowing, peeling into quill-sharp segments. The pain was distant, clinical. An offhand remark. Last sound, a wet click, like a dial turning in my vertebrae. Darkness condensed. Not absence of light, but substance. Everything tasted of her medicine cabinet, everything bent. Nearly there, the house crooned, warm as blood hitting snow. "Here's the part," she whispered, "where you learn to be still. Ah, gee."